Mayor Michael Bloomberg may be one of the richest people in the world, but today he's pushing back against charges that he's trying to buy the Democratic presidential nomination. CBS This Morning's Gayle King asked him about it during his first television interview since entering the race. CBS 2's political reporter Marsha Kramer now has more.
It's the first line of attack, the B word, billionaire, dropping off the lips of many of Michael Bloomberg's Democratic opponents in the 2020 presidential primary. And despite the fact that he's spending bushels of money to introduce himself to voters,
but Mike Bloomberg became the guy who did good.
The former mayor of New York insists he's not trying to buy the nomination. That's what he told CBS This Morning's Gayle King.
The point that they're making, and a lot of people are making, is you're a billionaire who is buying this election. What is your response to that?
I'm not buying any more. I'm doing exactly the same thing they're doing, except that I am using my own money. They're using somebody else's money, and those other people expect something from them. Nobody gives you money if they don't expect something, and I don't want to be bought.
In his first interview since deciding to run in the Democratic presidential primary, Bloomberg talked about a host of issues: his push for gun control, apologizing for stop and frisk, and why, after he initially decided not to run a few months ago, he changed his mind.
I watched all the candidates, and I just thought to myself, Donald Trump would eat him up.
You think all of the candidates who are running today, he would eat them up?
Let me rephrase it. I think that I would do the best job of competing with him and beating him.
Not surprisingly, Bloomberg's interview touched a raw nerve with the present occupant of Gracie Mansion, Bill de Blasio, who had to fold his own presidential tents due to a monumental lack of interest on the part of American voters.
This has to be the party of working people, not the party of billionaires.
Mayor Bill stepping up his attack on Mayor Mike by trying to convince primary voters that Bloomberg is not a real Democrat.
He's a billionaire who's not a real Democrat. For today's America, today's Democratic Party, he does not fit at all.
Although Mayor de Blasio's attack was certainly strident, I have to tell you that yesterday he admitted that if Michael Bloomberg is the nominee of the Democratic Party, he would support him. He did not say he would work to help him, however, and I guess it's an opportunity Bloomberg probably would have no trouble passing up.
Didn't sound like an endorsement.
No, it did not.
Not just yet, at least, but we'll see what happens. All right, Marsha, thank you very much.